Good Morning Kenya gets to continue, and right now we are officially into the family check segment. And this morning we posed the question to you. We are asking, how do you handle family conflict? How do you handle family matters? How do you handle family disagreements? That is what we would love to get to hear from you. Our numbers are open. The WhatsApp line, that is 0716 103 301. 0716 103 301. You can talk to us and let us know how you go about handling conflict in your families. And joining us for this conversation, just to get deeper into it and try to find the best way to handle family conflicts. On my immediate right, we have Reverend B. Akama. Reverend B. Akama is a senior pastor, Sound of Abundance Church. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Right
next to him, we have Might. Might is a trainer, a mentor, and also the CEO Pro Mentors Africa. Welcome to the program.
Asante sana.
And of course, my colleague Mike Megwe.
Yes.
Right here also.
Asante sana.
Let's get directly into this conversation. Let's begin by just looking at what are some of the things that cause conflicts in families. If we may begin with you, Rev.
Yeah, there are several things that contribute or attributes to family conflicts. And one of them that I can mention is communication breakdowns. Mm-hmm. When there's a communication breakdown, it can bring conflicts in families. One thing about family, people are brought up together. Mm-hmm. As it is in a family setup. And then you find as people grow, people get different beliefs, different understandings of things and how they want things to run. Mm-hmm. So that can bring some disagreement because of how we communicate when it comes to issues that are very fundamental. Mm-hmm. And you see, that is one of them, communication to finances. So there's so many things that, depending with the kind of a family or the kind of a family setup, family conflicts are attributed by so many things. Mm-hmm. And one of them, I think, is family communication, wrong communication, or lack of free flow of communication. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, so according to you, the main thing is communication.
Yes.
Mike, what's your take?
To me, in the same line is expectation that you have that will not in line with your opponent. When this expectation does not coincide with each other, then there's disagreement. So you find that I'm expecting this, I'm expecting, I know your finance is there, I'm expecting you tell me umefika nyumbani, I'm expecting your phone should be not have password, I'm expecting, those expectation is not managed, then there's a conflict. Because something distract my mind and distract my opponent. So with that one expectation, then, when it's not managed, then a conflict comes in. Yeah.
There's also the aspect of when it comes to major things like inheritance, there's land issues.
It's true.
Yes.
We've seen families that have wamechukuliana panga juu ya land, and you see a well-knit or a close-knit family disintegrate with time because of major issues like inheritance and land. But then again, moving forward, how does that work? Because there's one family that used to be together. They used to, say, for instance, pray together, have events together, family events together. But then again, an event like death happens within the family. And then those issues arise. Families fall apart. How then do you approach this issue to make sure that this family goes back to the way it was? And is it possible to go back to the way it was?
I think the root cause is me as the father, what ground am I making towards my children? So that by the word go, it's funny. Before you'll hear some old wazee, they will say, usinigae wakati niko hai. That have changed. The narrative have changed. We can avoid that conflict by saying, I have this, I have this, I have these children, 4 children, I have girls and this, I will do this. I'm planning this and this and this. Because you don't know. Today in mentorship, we have come up with issues of, let's talk it out. As parents, let's even put things right.
Yeah.
So by that time, you are going to avoid it. But there are some ones that they believe, no, until I die. But you'll hear nowadays, did he write a will? Did he do this and this and this? There are people still don't believe on that. But apart from writing and putting to a certain lawyer, why not bring these kids mapema?
Together.
I know I have this property, I have this property, I have this property. And that's why you find later, because we believe on power of words from the parents. So whatever the parents speak, you fear when you start bringing the conflicts. You fear when you start stepping on each other person. But if I speak it as a father, by the word go, I put things clear. If I die before my wife will take it from there. So let's go back and now start putting things right, which were not put before.
In light of what you've said and what we are talking about, it brings about a question of whose responsibility is it to keep the family together? Pastor?
Most of the time, and there's something I said that I concur with, for there to be a family conflict, it depends also with the upbringing and the kind of setup the family has been brought up in. We're living in a generation whereby you find most parents are becoming a bit, let me say, they step out a bit in terms of how they put things together, how you raise your children from the onset, from the discipline level, from as in their upbringing level, the place of correction, the place of kiboko. One thing I've come to fear, to be concerned about in this recent past, is that ile mali ya kiboko ilitokanga. You know, there are people, even if how tough you are and your father calls you once, the second time he calls you, anakurushia irungu. So you see, when you grow with that kind of mindset, you will respect how what he will say. Two, there are families whereby you find their parents who had laid a foundation whereby listen to your elder brother, listen to your sister, take care of your younger sister. So you find on that concept, it's very hard when these children grow up, it's very hard for them to disagree because already the foundation is laid. For the family conflict not to be there, it really, really matters on how the father, the mother had laid the foundation, especially the man, the head of the house. The foundation he laid from the onset. That is the key. Because if it is not well laid, then I'm telling you, everybody's growing. We hear from other people, we learn from other people. When a child grows, we hear another concept, somebody's idea, somebody's counsel. So what they would do, they would take it. But the words of your father matters a lot. Yeah. Very key.
And I hear you with that, and the fact that you've talked about the cane. You know, the cane right now has been abolished. It's not even allowed in schools. I don't know if we can go about raising the new generation the same way that maybe the previous or the older generation was raised. There's some conversation there that, you know, maybe now we can't really just rely on the cane because things have changed. You know, things have changed. There's a way you can still teach a child without having to use the cane. But maybe that is debatable in a way. But let me go back to our topic. We get cases that are very, very severe. I'm sure you guys have seen it all over the news once in a while, at times more rampant than it should be, whereby there was conflict between the husband and the wife of the home. And then something happens and this man decides, you know what, all of us are perishing. They kill all the children, they kill their mother, and they kill themselves. So when you talk about family disagreements, let's also look at it in that light, that it can be very, very fatal and unfortunate. So maybe what are some of the questions that maybe should come about even within the family when there is a disagreement, before we get to that conflict that now it's become almost unresolvable? When there is a disagreement, maybe what are some of the questions that should arise? Maybe what are some of the questions that should start coming about before it gets to the point where now ni kama imefika mwisho kabisa?
Unajua, there is something that I think Pasia amesema, and we need to look at it. There was the issue of bringing up. There was the issue of baba mdogo, mama mdogo. There was the issue of uncles. And that's why kiboko kutoa, then we could have gone now to this concept, because ndio ifike that level. Unasikia Vivian, tulikuwa ushanipeleka baka kwa wazazi, tumeongea na wazazi na wazee, but now we are not listening to them.
At all.
We're not listening. So we need to go back, so to avoid this, we need to go back and now bring the concept of uncles. You'll find me as grown up, I don't even go to my uncle. I don't even value him. I don't even respect him. Because at the end of any conflict, hata ndio ifike wakati watu wameuana. Trust me, one way, ilifika pahali nikatoka. Ama ukatoka. Ilifika pahali ukakuja, ukaambia mama yangu. Tukakalishwa chini. Does it mean ndio ifike mahali ya vita na everything? Kwa hivyo wale wazee tulizungumza nao.
Allow me to cut you short. We take a break and then we'll come back. Don't go too far. And we're back. Thank you for staying with us. Before we took that break, you were just talking about the fact that as much as we've abolished the cane, then what are the alternatives? Because you're feeling that even the mentorship itself, which is supposed to have come in to take over from the cane, it's no longer there.
I think we need to come up with a parenting in the 21st century. We need to adapt or borrow some of the things that were done before. We cannot just call ourselves tumekuwa Jay-Z, tumekuwa 21st century. No, there are some things that made us to be who we are. And their values, which those values, how they were implemented, is very important. Yes, for us, there was a cane and there was a mentorship. Today, if you throw the cane and the mentorship is not there, then, like the way you were saying just here, the concept of going shags, concept of going to my brother, you know, I can visit my brother because brother yangu ni baba mkubwa wa watoto wangu.
Baba mdogo.
I'm a baba mdogo. And in absence of me, even about inheritance and everything, baba mdogo ama baba mkubwa atachukua ile nafasi na hatakuwa na mali. Sababu pia yeye ni baba. But today, we don't even bother. Hata kuna wengine hatuwajui, hata umujui. My uncle could speak, could tell me. In fact, baba mdogo alikuwa anakuja on serious issues. But on some to discipline, ungeitwa uncle. Uncle meant a lot.
Yeah.
You see, and that's why even in many cultures, if I want kwenda jando kutairi, sikuwa naambia baba mdogo, naambia my uncle. Is my uncle atakuja kuomba ruhusa kwa baba mdogo ama baba mkubwa. So I think we need to go back to that era, because when we lose that, then we are losing the whole generation. Issues of working with these young people to realize how we can handle the things, how we can manage things. We need that.
Yeah.
What about the issue of mental health? When it comes to dealing with a family conflict, where do you think that plays a role, Pastor, in this?
One thing we cannot ignore is that there's mental health. Mental health plays a big role in a lot of family conflict. I've always told people, not everybody is okay. And we cannot assume that everybody is fine. I might be fine, but my brother is not feeling fine, due to what he's eating, where he is, and what he's going through. We can't avoid that part, you see, because there is most people nowadays are under pressure. Many people are stressed. Many people are having emotional breakdown. Many people are overwhelmed. And they don't know how to vent it out or who to talk to. That is why also you find there must be a space whereby who do I talk to when I feel I'm under duress? Who do I talk to? Because if you have nobody to talk to, then you'll vent on the wrong person. You'll come home and your wife will tell you something. And you just imagine this, what she's telling you is not worth killing her. But because you have another issue at the back of your mind, you vent it on her. So every person must have someone that they can talk to openly. It could be your pastor, it could be a friend, it could be a relative. There must be someone, because you cannot, nowadays I've seen families or couples, let me use that word, couples whereby it's only me and my wife, it's only me and my kids. And these kids are growing. And the only people they know is mom and dad, and that was assistant. Period. So this girl is growing up, and there are things that I'm like, where? Don't do. You. So she gets to a space whereby she doesn't have a way out. She'll start bottling up things, and her mind begins to run helter-skelter. The next thing, issues. She'll spark out. She'll hang herself. She'll start getting into drugs. So there must be a space whereby, and I if I can take us 2 steps back a bit,
yes,
there's the place whereby which auntie can talk to my daughter about she's growing up now,
having boy issues and what
girl issues. Like one time I discovered there are things my daughter can't tell me, but can tell, you know, my in-law, you know. So there must be that space where we can talk. Open it up. You must allow your children, or you as a person, you must open that can whereby who do I talk to apart from apart from the partner I have or my brothers, very key. An outsider can bring in another thought, another idea that can help you notice that this thing can be handled differently. Because mental health now is challenging many people, and many people are reacting out of that state.
Yeah,
Most
and even
people.
speaking about the fact whereby you just keep bottling things up so that when it comes to that time when it's exploding, then it's absolutely bad, and everyone you'll hear someone say, "But akukua hivo, sijui," but there was something they were just adding on to it. And that brings me to my next question, that is of sweeping things under the rug. Because there are people that's their way of approaching situations. They don't like speaking about it. They don't like confrontation. I'll put in quotes, because sometimes it's not really confrontation, it's communication, right? So the issue of sweeping things under the rug and avoiding things, you know that there's a problem here, but then you just assume none of you speaks about it.
I think this is all surrounding the mental health. And seriously, mental health is about mind. If you manage the mind on any conflict, any disorder in a human person, it started with the mind. And even mind, even how you look for somebody to talk to, but which methodology, the approach on talking to. Kuna ule utaenda kubonga naye. In fact, wazazi tunafaa ku style up. Because pia watu hii wanatu come away, because instead of having a friendly conversation, you're still bringing rules and regulations.
Yes.
You're still, akijibu hivi, ushaanza fight back. Ukisha fight back, kesho atakuwa na wewe. Kesho atakuongelesha kama uncle, kama baba mdogo and everything. But now if we look about the mental health, what are we putting in our mind at workplace? And that's why these are conversations that need in all people in this country. As a teacher, as a politician, as what, there is a pressure. Mental health comes as a result of a pressure coming, and then when you don't handle that pressure or manage that pressure, then it goes down to the family. Tuko hapa job, umenipressure, hizi makamera sijui nifanye nini, kufika nyumbani, kakitu kadogo hivi, kameprovoke. Kameprovoke hasira, na si mimi nimekukosea, ni job umekosewa. So how do we manage? How do we mitigate? I think various institutions, the church institution, any institution, we need to talk about the mental health. We need to talk about the mind. And in fact, when I talk about mental health, for me, I talk about the mind. Because it's the mind that you manage, you need to manage. Whatever I'm putting in, if I put in, I think, when brother, inakawe na mother, kuna vitu mnafanya chini, perception. Assumption. Nimeanza kuwa na labda hakuna kitu unadu. Ni vile tu umekuwa ukipigia mother kila siku, mimi sipigi. So vile mother niko close, then tunaanza kufight.
Unaona ni kama
kuna kitu
more favored than you.
More favored. So how do we manage the mind? How do we mitigate the mind? What are we putting in? Somebody says, whatever you put garbage in, garbage out.
Garbage out, yes.
What information am I putting in? And if I manage information, which is communication, if I manage information, then I manage mental health. Then I manage it. Hata health is about what nimesoma hivi. What am I eating? It comes to the mind. Kuta pahali kama mimi tukiwa wadogo, we were forced to kula malenge. Na kitu kingine, kuna ile sijui kama mlikunywa inaitwaje? Ile mafuta ya samaki.
Omega 3.
Irritating. Up to today I hate it. But if you try to imagine malenge, my wife anaikanga sasa napika chapati, I love that. But malenge itself, it was put to me by force.
Yes.
Kuna pikiwa malenge na viazi na kila kitu unazichagua hivi. My friend, mafuta ya samaki unakunywa hivi, anagojea hapa mother. Ile vitu utachapwa mpaka umeze. But if you try to imagine how it was brought to me, and now I hate it, I had put in my mind, hii ni mbaya. Today I'm a scholar in this country. Is it bad? It's the best thing you should have. Very nutritious. So what am I installing in my mind? Ati I go to Kisumu, utakupata malaria mentality. Mindset. So if we can try to help people to manage mind of the information that comes, then we'll be somewhere.
And that will avoid conflict.
Even
the approach that is applied by people, even families, matters a lot. And in this case, maybe, what do you think, Pastor, compromise plays how do you think it plays out if as at now we were to get to a middle ground within the family?
One of the things is we need to get to a point, no matter what you feel, no matter what you're going through, learn to speak your mind. Very important, because most people operate with assumptions. And it is what I think and what I believe is that's what I make as a decision. When we have to solve any problem, for us to avoid conflict, I must bring in my thoughts verbally. This is what I think. I think you're unfair here. I think this is not going well here. This is my take. That will help us come to a plain ground where we can solve any problem. Because most people, you'll find somebody who has some grievances about a brother, or how mom is handling my younger sister, or the way I feel my wife is handling me, or the mother-in-law thinks about me. So what happens is, by the time I come for the meeting, I have a set mind. There's this, I've already concluded.
There's an outcome you expect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm coming already. Matter of fact, I can say I'm not even going for that meeting. I know this is what we're going to discuss.
Yeah.
So, for me, but I've already made up my
The
mind.
assumption, yeah.
Yes.
Najua ni mimi wanataka kuattack leo.
You don't like him, you don't like me. You're my sister, you don't like my wife. So already I'm coming with this wall. I've already put a cage. I mean, inside a cage.
Very guarded.
Yes, there are walls. You can't beat me on this. And when I come there, I'm not coming to talk. I'm coming to listen. And to defend myself. So this will make conflicts grow. So we need to come to a place for us to have fairness, for us to have to be able to solve any conflict. We must get to a point where everybody is given opportunity to air their view and opinion. I tell people like this: you cannot beat down my opinion. It's an opinion, and everybody is entitled to its own.
Yes.
So if I have an opinion, you don't fight my opinion. You listen to it. You don't have to agree to it. Then, when there is a table where we can discuss my opinion and we discuss your opinion, we'll discover there's no devil between us. It's just a different mindset and some mental or verbal disagreements. This is my mind, so I disagree with you. So I think there must be a plain ground whereby we talk.
Yeah.
There must be communication.
And I feel like that's
pia
the most
kuna
important thing.
defensive mechanism.
Yes.
Hiyo,
Especially
the
men.
moment in talks, no matter assumption, perception, prejudice, stereotypes, already iko kwa mind yako.
Yeah.
Nimeblock.
Yeah.
So every word, even I say, Vivian, I love you, unasema kwa sababu you don't even pick it because already you shall block.
Yes.
Let's allow our viewers to also get into this conversation. You can send in your WhatsApp message, and our lines are also open. If you have something that you want to share with us concerning the topic that we're talking about, that is on handling conflict in your family, let us know how you personally do it in your family. The number is 0716-103-301. The number is right there on your screens. Give us a call. Let us know how you tackle that in your home. Now, even with what you were just from saying, and even picking from what Percy had mentioned, I feel like space it should be allowed for everyone to be able to just air their views.
Absolutely.
I feel like families should be an open place, should be a safe place. I mean,
Yes.
if your home is not a safe place, where else
It's the
is your
support
safe
system
place?
you need.
So I feel like if we work on ensuring our homes are our safest place, and when a place is your safe place, then you can be able to communicate. When there's an issue, sit down, air your views, and there should be no power dynamics, because sometimes that power dynamics also brings the issue, because now you feel like, okay, it's my dad ndo amenikosea, sasa how do I approach him? And he's my dad. Na ukweli amekukosea, lakini now the power dynamics, because he's the head of the family, you don't know
Yes.
how to go about it. But I feel like it should be an open thing whereby you can sit down and everyone has a chance to just air their grievances. Wewe sema, and then we have
But even
a
at
common
home,
ground.
identify the space where there are kids and it's me and you. So do we speak it at that time? So even within the home, at what time do we speak this? How do you even learn my sign language, my visual expression and everything? At what time do I speak this? So that I even tell couples, try, if we have conflict within me and my wife, first we sort it kando na watoto.
Yeah.
Because what is happening today, I realize if the kiddos are teenage or whatever, mom will try to bring the idea, you apate supporters.
Yes,
You are supporters.
yes.
Apate supporters
Mom.
and fight the ego of the man.
There are cases where parents have made children to take sides.
Yes,
it's true.
We have
This is
situations.
unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate. Unfortunate, actually.
We have a caller
Okay.
coming in from Kisumu. Good morning.
Good morning, too.
How are you? Talk to us, Collins. What's your take on this conversation?
I'm fine. I just wanted to contribute to the ongoing program on basically. Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
we can hear you.
Muskia.
Continue, Collins.
Basically, more of the family conflicts arise from the financial provision, emotional demand, among other marriage values. So let us work out the soft skills like communication, decision making, develop humbleness, and settle our challenges through high understanding.
I hear you, Collins. Thank you so much. Collins has put it out so nicely.
Yes.
You know, just develop that humbleness of being able to just talk out your issues. Communication is coming out in every, you know, as the main thing to go about, the best way to go about conflict resolution. You know,
Then we
there's
need to
no
talk
way
about
out.
this communication, because kila wakati communication. Then the problem is this giant called communication.
What is it?
So what is it?
Yeah.
And how should it be? Because in communication there's open-ended question,
Yes.
closed-ended question.
Yes.
At what time do I use this methodology? I think it should be a discussion, because kwa kila kitu communication.
And, if,
Yeah.
and even we are talking,
They're also non-verbal. Yeah.
yes, even if we're talking about that communication, the aspect of mediation, if there is this family conflict, will it play a role in making sure that this family comes to a common, finds consensus, and will the parties feel like their matters have been handled the way they should have been handled?
Yeah, and when you're thinking about, just to echo on what he's saying, and when you're thinking about bringing in a third party, who are you looking out?
Exactly.
Who are you looking at as the third party?
One of the things I've noticed also, especially in a family setup, parents have really contributed in family conflicts. Our parents should never take sides.
That's true.
Most families.
I'll hold you to hold that thought. We have yet another caller. Timothy, good morning.
Yes.
Talk to us, Timothy. What's your take on this conversation? Okay, we've lost him.
Okay. So you find, I've seen setups whereby, because John gives moms a lot of shopping, and Ben does not send money often.
Absolutely.
So John becomes mom's favorite.
You listen to it's true.
So when there's a family meeting and dad needs something, he will not talk to anybody. He will not listen to anybody else until Lucy, who is the last born, comes home.
The one who brings shopping.
Who brings shopping. So John ako hapa, yeye ndio first born.
Yes.
Anaambia goja kwanza.
Itulia.
Tuongee na Lucy kwanza.
Lucy anasemaje?
That would be so unfortunate.
It's true.
And so this thing begins whereby the elder brother feels this is my younger sister. So the parents have contributed in
We
the
have
conflict.
Patrick on the line.
Okay.
Patrick, good morning. Reduce the volume of your TV kindly. Put it on mute. Weka TV mute ndo tusikizane.
Hello?
Talk to us, Patrick.
Hello?
Hi, we can hear you. Patrick? Patrick, do we still have you on the line? Okay, when you call us, kindly just mute your television so that we're able to get to communicate. Okay, Patrick, nzuri sana. Tuambie mchango wako katika mjadala wetu leo ni upi?
Ya, ninawapata lakini kwa chini, ingawaje kwa chini kidogo. Nilikuwa nataka nijadilie mjadala mnaendelea nayo kwa TV.
Karibu.
Hello.
Endelea Patrick, tunakusikia.
Ya, hapa mjadala ambao mmeleta jawabu kwa mapana sana. Kwa sababu mahali conflict katika familia ni kitu kikubwa, mmechukua kubwa sana. Sababu inaanzia kwako kwenyewe kama familia yako na bibi yako na watoto, alafu inaenda mpaka sasa kwa familia, brada zako, masista zako, mpaka mtu kama
Okay, that is Patrick's point of view. We need to be winding up, so maybe if we can just get last remarks and let it be on forgiveness, apology, you know, how to go about now solving it. Final remarks.
One thing I want people to understand, that family is the best place you can ever be in. And everybody else can run away from you, but family will stand with you. So no matter how offended you get, how bad you feel, you must have a space in you to still forgive your brother or forgive your sister. And you can never do it with family. Matter of fact, you cannot rely on other people than family. You make sure you rely on your family. Family can easily come through than friends. So no matter how offended, no matter how angry you are, you must always realize that man is my brother. John is my brother. This is my sister. So no matter what, you must be must have a space for them and forgive them, and be willing to have a ground where you can talk and resolve issues. Yes.
Thank you. Mike?
Forgiveness is not taking advantage of the other person. Forgiveness is not justifying. And that's why it is in Matthew 6:14. And it's a condition. It's the word, if you forgive, our Father will also. Bible yote angalia tu yote. Hapo ni condition. It's not easy, but it's possible. My father, who disowned me and everything, I forgive. Today is my best friend. But it took people to journey with me. It took a priest by the name Father James to journey with me to accept my father, and I realized I don't have another father. And today, I'm telling you, you're not 1 week without calling me. By the way, tutafanya, I'm not the firstborn. But even it reached a moment, even I was adopted by a family, and I have both parents. During my wedding, even he was not even present. You see? But today, after realizing this, and I've realized I have no option. Even if I go heaven, he remained to be my father. I carry his name. So forgiveness, friends, is something that is the only condition, and we need to forgive. But sometimes the pain is too much, but God still tells us, you have to forgive. You must forgive. So then that comes as a result of trying to take a moment of understanding where my father was coming from, where I was coming from. Then from there, now becomes very easy to let go. After letting it go, then my father becomes, I embrace him. Today there are some words he speaks, and I'm very sure out of those words, I'm prospering. So forgiveness is not taking justification. Forgiveness is not this. Forgiveness is forgiveness. And just ask for forgiveness. In fact, Father James told me, if you find a mad person and that mad person slaps you, will you slap back?
No.
Why? Because he's mad. Is it true? If you go to the hospital and you find somebody mess. Na kwa hospitali, will you attend to that person? Na akiwa nje, you cannot attend. So he told me, take your father as that person ambaye hajui na wewe unajua. So attend to him, because the truth that you have in you, what you know about forgiveness, he doesn't know. So be the first one to bring that love and forgiveness.
And indeed,
so forgiveness.
That is very true. And indeed, because it's cast on stone, you cannot change your family.
You can't.
You can change friends, but it's cast on stone. You cannot change your family. So I don't think it's prudent to keep grudges, as you have said. Forgiveness is the ultimate way. And the act, and as you have said, communication. Very important.
Most important thing. Thank you so very much for joining us for this conversation. Might, Reverend Akama, we appreciate that you took your time to just come and talk about this very sensitive matter. We appreciate your time for sure. Now, don't go too far. Victor is coming in so that we can be able to wind up the show. This is where we are coming to an end of this conversation. But just to touch on how today's show was. Today we've had an amazing show, you know? And the fact that the Chan Trophy was here in the morning on GMK.
You guys. Hey.
You're seeing it over there, like we saw it live.
You know, let me tell you something. Vivian, you did you get close to that thing?
Come on.
I felt the power. I felt I feel like what the players are actually yearning for
Yeah.
was closer to us here.
Yeah.
Like arm and nose length. But it is so far from the contenders, from the players, and
Yeah.
from the nations, what they are fighting for.
Yeah.
It was just right here with us.
Imagine.
I mean, you get to understand the value and the power of sports, and basically what the member of parliament said and the deputy governor said. As legislators, I think as a country, we need to start appreciating that we really need to commercialize football and sports in this country. It's one of the best paying discipline, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Faith Kipyegon, talk of Eliud Kipchoge, talk of Victor Wanyama, who was here, an ambassador.
Absolutely.
He's played for some of the biggest teams, Tottenham Hotspurs
Yeah.
out there. So where Victor Wanyama is called, Kenya is called.
Yes.
Man,
There's,
could feel the
there's
power.
an aura. There's an aura.
that
Yeah.
kizungu kubwa.
Yeah, there's an aura around
Yeah,
it, and it's
absolutely.
just, you know, it calls for us supporting and investing
Yes,
more
yes.
on when it comes to sports. Just as you're saying, you know, just ensure there are facilities where
Yeah.
young boys, girls can be able to go. If it's tennis, let there be tennis areas where they can go and just
And fully nurtured.
and
Yeah.
fully nurture it. Even in schools, let's ensure that we allow that core curricula to take place, because there are people who are truly, truly talented, but sometimes it just
Exactly.
goes without being noticed because they didn't get the opportunity for it to be
Yeah.
nurtured.
You look at even sports at high school level, whether it's football, volleyball, and everything, there's a lot of
There's a lot.
talent.
Yeah.
Kenya has a lot to offer.
Yeah.
It's an avenue that needs to be invested in, and intentionally so. Because given that we have reached finals,
Yeah.
quarterfinals,
Quarters, yeah.
it's not an easy feat.
It's not an easy. In fact, let me just quote for the sake of people who did not watch that segment. Those two guests said one thing, that the government has to be quite deliberate. The same way we have got funds for education, we have got funds for all these other departments across the country, health, for example, education. There is a deliberate fund for this, the
Yes.
sports and health.
Yeah.
Then education and health. Then it means that even during budgeting, there should be a budget for sports. One. Number two, because sports is devolved, why don't you have every county having a tournament?
Yeah.
Then we have got inter-county tournament, which is deliberate and which is quite predictable.
Yeah.
That after every 3 months we have got inter-county football tournament, or whichever netball, whichever discipline.
Yeah.
That all the 47 counties come together, but it is rotational.
Yeah.
That this time we are in Taita Taveta County. Pun intended. Next time we are in Kerenyaga, Wanguru Stadium.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then we have got, we'll spread the sports tourism across all these. I would imagine people are going to play in Taita Taveta. You can imagine a land of 1,000 hills, right?
Yeah.
Rice pads and,
Yes.
you know, the what.
Yeah.
So that
It would
would
be so
also
beautiful.
create local tourism in the country. But
Yeah.
all in all, it was a good show.
Yeah.
We enjoyed. Whew, we have to wrap it up, guys.
All right, this is time for us to now
Yeah.
say goodbye to you. Very many thanks. Thank you to each and every one of you who has been tuned in from when we began the show at 6:40 a.m. until this point in time. We do appreciate your time, and we usually do it each and every morning, weekday morning, right here on KBC Channel 1. Good Morning Kenya is the show, so tell a friend to tell another that they should not be missing this show.
And by the way, you're on TikTok.